Can y'all see the screen? Okay, everybody's got the screen. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about copies. We've talked about move statements, and we're using move statements. Y'all been using that in your projects. And so when you're moving, though, how many words are you moving at one time with a move statement? Think about it. When you're moving 32 bits, one word. Okay, there's no way to move like sequential words, right? You're moving one word at a time. And so what I'm going to show you is I'm going to show you the copy statement. All right, it's under File and Miscellaneous over here, and it's the COP, copy. All right, now what it is the same thing as a move. Only difference is it allows you to move more than one word at a time, because you see what's it got there? A link. All right. So under source, I'm just going to put file _1. I'm going to make that, and I'm going to make it a dent tag, dent data type, right? We're used to that, 32 bits. And I'm going to make it an array. Now to make it an array, I hit the ... I'm just going to make it a 10-dimension array. What does that mean? Now that I made a 10-dimension array, it means I did what? I got 10 32-bit words, right? Alright, so when I go from there, I'm going to make file 2. Okay, file 2 is going to be a 10 ... right here, same thing. Dimension of 10. Hit create. Alright, now I have to specify with brackets what part or what word I want to start with when I make my copy. Alright, now if I wanted to copy every one of those files, we just made it an array of what? 10. So if I wanted to copy from 0 all the way to whatever, then I'd have to do what? Make the length. Now, it's got to copy 0 through 9, but the length would be what? 10. Exactly. There's 10 words, it's got to copy 10 times, right? No, that's like a sequencer. Don't get confused on that. It would only copy 0 through 4. Yep, it copies 0 through 4. The first 5. So let's go put some data in here. So I built some program tags here. Monitor. Alright, now I'm just going to put, just for reference, in file 1, that's the one we're copying from, right? That's our source. I'm just going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? Just numbers. So that's file 1 that we just put those numbers in. It's an array of 10. Now, the destination is file 2. Right now, file 2's got what in it? Nothing. If I go to file 2, it's empty, right? Alright, now I'm going to make a blank dummy word right here, just a dummy bit called copy that I can toggle. Okay, I'm going to download. Okay, so what should happen when I hit this copy button here? Alright, so in controller tag and program tags, right now I got in file 1, which is the source, they're not equal, right? There's all zeros in file 2, which is the destination. So as soon as I hit copy right here, now if I go back to my program tags, look what it did. Now I'm going to blank this whole, actually I got to turn this bit off here. Yeah, sure, go ahead. That's referencing the brackets reference what bit it wants to start with, and that's what we're fixing to, not bit, but what word. See, that's array 0, which array you want to start with. So what I'm going to show you now is, alright, if I come in here and blank all of these out, alright, but I changed the instruction to a length of 5. How's that going to affect the outcome of file 2 now? It's only going to go 0 through 4, right? So, toggle the bit. See? Only 0 through 4. Now, what if I wanted to take what was in 0 through 4 and offset it so that it went in 5 through 9? Could I do that? There you go. Alright, so let me untoggle this copy here. Alright, so if we came in here and we changed the source and told it to start with 5, then it would copy 5 to 0 and, you know, 6 to 1, 7 to 2. But what I want to do is I want to fill file 2 starting with array 5. So it's going to go 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? Yep. Toggle B. See? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from this bit, this word, these words, and just shifted them, starting with 5. Does everybody see what it did there? Yes. Alright, now where could this be useful for what we've been doing? I set it up like this so that hopefully the light would come on. A sequencer when you got more than one light pattern. One sequencer and you can move different files into your arrays. So let's set one up like that. I'm gonna go offline. Alright, I'm just gonna delete this. I'm gonna delete everything just like I'm starting from scratch. Alright, so we come in. We should be able to set a sequencer up by now. We should know what it looks like, right? I mean, we're just gonna have a sequencer, and I gotta have a timer or some other method to make it step, break power to it and reapply. Alright. Alright, so my array, here's what we're going to do. We're going to have one array, but we're going to have two different light patterns based on the position of a selector switch. So I'm going to call this actual array. Alright, I'm going to make that actual array a dimension of 7 because I want to have 6 steps, right? Everybody remembers that. One more than what we actually need. Mask, I'm just going to put a -1 because right now I'm not worried about it. And now I can just take the destination and send it straight to the output word. Remember, don't come down and drag a bit. We want to write to the whole word at one time. Alright, so I'll give my length to 6. And then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to use the timer done bit. Okay, everybody feels comfortable with that part. We've been setting up sequencers long enough, y'all can do that part, right? Alright, so here's where we're going to get down here. We're going to have two copy statements, right? Because we're going to have two different arrays. Everybody would agree with that. Alright, so I'm going to have here. And what we're going to do is we're going to say, okay, we're going to use one of the selector switches, local 2i, data 12. And I'm going to say if that switch is on, then we're going to use this copy statement. We're going to say if that switch is off, okay, then we're going to use this copy statement. Okay? Now, source, I'm going to make two different arrays. I'm going to make them array 1 and array 2. But they're going to be an array of 7, just like the other one. Right? Array 1, right click, new. We got to make it ... an array of 7. Alright, we got to tell it that we want to start with 0, And where are we actually going to put that? Where are we going to copy it to? The actual array from the sequencer, right? And we want to tell it that we're going to start with 0 on it as well. What's my length going to be? There's 6 steps, but how many? There's 7. Okay, I got that. So this copy statement would look the same. Actual array. It's copying to the same spot, right? The length's also going to be 7, but I'm just going to make one called array 2. Right click, new, hit the dot dot dot, 7. Okay, and then I got to tell it that we're going to start with 0. Alright, now what's the only thing we got left to do? I got to go put something in array 1 and array 2, right? So, we're going to go to monitor array 1. We're going to start with 1, remember, because it skips 0. Okay, that's just going to make them do this right here, right? Alright, and then the physical, if array 2 I wanted to make them in groups of 2s, I can't remember how those 0 and 3 and then 1 and 4 and then 2 and 5. So let's see, 0 and 3 and then 1 and 4, 1 and 4, and then 2, 5. Alright, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it backwards to where they just strode right back down. You know what I'm saying? The lights will go doot, 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 doot. Can anybody think of anything else we need to do before we try this? Let's download it and see. Alright, this copy statement is the one working, so it should be doing the 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, right? So then all we should have to do is flip this switch. It flips over to the second sequence. Are we limited to how many sequences we can put in there? Yeah, I mean, you have to have different things to actuate, or different combinations to actuate them. You have to have a copy statement for each one. Because I got 6 steps, that's what I got programmed. So, I mean, and another thing, you know, if you want to see how it's actually doing, you can go to View, and then Watch, and look at local 0, 0. It's lagging a little bit on it. No, I ain't got it all the way out. There we go. Now you can see it. Alright, Chuck, you mind flipping that switch again so we can watch how it... Yep, there you go. But that's a good thing if you don't want, if you're at home and you can't physically look at the trainer, you go to that View and then Watch, and then you just look at your output, but make sure you stretch this value out wide enough to where you can see the whole word. You can actually see what's going on. Now it's going to have a little lag, like see, you can see it's almost skipping bit 1 every time, but it's just a, see if we slow this down, slow the time down. Then we can actually see it working. Now obviously when we get to work, we're not going to be using this to make lights flash, more than likely. But for training purposes, I mean, it teaches the concept.
Well, I just figured out how they're doing our rods and stuff now. They got a whole system with all this stuff they now have to pick which one using what pattern and all that.
I mean, you could use it for like that motor sequence, step out and step down. Something's going to be over and over and over, the same every time. And use one sequencer and just basically be done with it. You know what I'm saying? So any questions on the copy statement? We go back and look at it there on how to set it up. Everybody understands that you can offset it here by picking which rate. Now you're going to get an error. Like if I go offline, you know, a lot of times I think y'all aren't using your error check. If I double click here and I just take this out, see I get an error. And you remember PLC 5, you had to go in, you had to verify it to get rid of those E's, but RSLogix is continually checking your rungs for errors. And so as soon as you get it right, it's going to, boom, these errors will go away. But you can still go here and go verify. You can either verify your routine, see, and it says, and I'll drag this down a little bit. It highlights the rung, it says rung 1, copy operand 0. Well, that's the operand 0 is the first part of that. But if you click on it, it'll highlight exactly where the error is. Missing reference to array element. Well, all you got to do is tell it, all right, where do you want to start that array? And see, it automatically verifies for you. Y'all think y'all can throw one of those in there real quick and try it? Quite possibly. Alright, let's try it.